The cyclical poverty that we experience in New Orleans is very much a product of history. In 1898, after they had endured slavery, the black family got themselves together. 78% of all African American adults were married. Fast forward to the middle of the 20th century, however, something happened. The overlap of Jim Crow and the fact that black men could not find meaningful work and a social welfare system whose rules required that there be no man in the house disrupted black fatherhood. In 1998, only 40% of African American adults were married. This means a large number of little girls had no man to measure other men by, and many little boys had no way to figure out that they had to become something to become a man.
He's been a brother, a mentor. He's been my leader, my boss. He was the second president for the board at ASHE Cultural Arts Center. But someone who carries the ability to be able to really get into the minutiae of life and to be able to help us to understand how it is that we can manage to figure it out and to be responsible to the people that we are. They call him the love doctor. And someone who claims that name is somebody who really understands that love is a verb. And it's an active thing. It's something that you do all the time. And he's teaching us all the time how to be love doctors too. I give you Lloyd Dennis.
I want these fathers, these favorite fathers to stand for me for a minute. I want you to repeat something after me. I will live my life.
I will live my life.
As though generations depend on me.
As though generations depend on me.
And I will teach and encourage.
I will teach and encourage.
All of mine.
All of mine.
To do the same.
To do the same.
Silverback.
Silverback.
Thank you very much, John. Sit down. That's what we teach the young boys.
I have been in a partnership with the Silverbacks now for about 3-4 years, and they have made a significant impact on the culture in our school. They have turned the lives around of many boys that we really would not have been able to make a difference with. And I can't begin to tell you how important it has been to have these men sacrifice their time and their talents and a lot of times their money to be male role models to young men who would not be a man because they had never seen a man.
That pledge that you just did is what the little boys do from the first time we meet them till we finish with them at the end of the school year. They say it twice a day, and I believe if you repeat something to yourself 50 times, you might start believing it. But the point is, when we meet these little boys, they don't know us. They don't know what that respect is. So we explain it real quick. We say, you know, you don't know us, we don't know you. But here's the deal. Let me tell you something about us. Let me tell you something about these fellas. See, when we walk in our house, ain't nobody confused. Everybody up in there knows that their life is better because we in it. They call that man swag. Am I lying? Let me explain something. Every man born, every little boy born wants to do this. Am I lying, fellas? The only thing is, if you have not had a man to respect, you don't know what respect is, so all you left with is what they call respect on the street, which ain't nothing but fear.
That's right, say that.
Now, the thing that I want everybody to know is every one of the little boys, in 6 years, here's what we do after we tell them that. The other piece of it is, listen, fellas, if by the time you got women and children depending on you, you can't do what you need to do for them, you're going to have to beat them. And then what you get is not going to be respect.
Right.
It's going to be what y'all call respect on the street, fear. You ought to see the little boys' eyes. For most of those little boys, it's the first time in their life where they understood the difference.
Right.
But here's the most important part. To all the people that demonize our children, our little men, boy choose the dark side. We say, what do you want from your women and children? You want what we get, or you want them to fear you? We have never had a little boy say, I want my people to fear me. So it's built into the children to accept the leadership of real men.
And once you walk into that classroom with these young men and they realize that we're there to help them and not to hurt them, they're wide open. They want to hear what we have to say. They look at all of us that come in and say, well, that young man came and he's presented properly. He looks nice. He's dressed neat. He has a good job. He has a nice family. I want to have the same thing. And it's not that they can't achieve it. They just need some of us to tell them that they can and help them to achieve those goals.
There are a lot of men in our community, and the little boys that when we meet them don't know that they're supposed to become something. If you grew up in a home where there is no man, or all the men are laying around all day, how is a little boy ever to figure out that he's supposed to become something? There are little boys that we work with where all the men live off women. Why is he supposed to know different? So I'm not angry with the little boy who 5, 10 years later finds himself with a baby, but not in the place, doesn't know how to do anything. That's some of them on the street corner trying to catch up right quick. I ain't mad at them, but you will not produce those boys. And I hate to say it, but some of you are going to have to come help us out on the street to stop some of these other little boys. Because once they see you and get an eye full of you and understand who you are and what kind of life you're going to live, they won't be like you.
Kids going to be kids, but at the same time, they respect what we're trying to do and they're engaging in what we're trying to do. And it makes it easy, you know, when they can see men who come from their backgrounds giving back.
This year we had the pleasure of welcoming the Silverback Society into our school. They've been here approximately 6 weeks. This is week number 7. And what the students have been taking from it, our boys, our 8th grade boys, is they've actually trying to form their own little society within the school where they somewhat adopted a Big Brother program and now are working with the 5th grade boys here at the school to teach and model for them what they should do, how they should act, and how they should behave. And what is happening is the transfer of knowledge is coming from our 8th grade boys and is actually moving down throughout the boys in the school. And the reason our 8th grade boys selected the 5th grade boys was due to the fact that our 5th grade boys are sometimes our most challenging boys. And they say, well, Mr. Goodwin, those are the ones we want to work with the most because we don't want them to follow our path. We want them to be better than what we are, and we want them to strive to be better than what we can be.
Silverbacks is like you gotta control your anger issues and make sure you do the right thing instead of the wrong thing. And being the Silverbacks means you gotta think of what you do before you do it and when you do it. And you gotta make sure that your schoolwork is good. You gotta make sure you gotta help your little brothers and sisters, and you gotta see what you're doing before you do it.
Go ahead, big brother. Help him out.
Well, to me, being a Silverback, it meant a lot to me because as a silverback, it teaches you how to grow and it teaches you how to be a man and take responsibility for your own self. And it teaches you how to work with others and, you know, be a man of yourself and be a man of your family. It teaches you how to step up to things. I'm proud of I made it to the honor roll, and I also made Student of the Month, which students thought I would never make, and I still had to prove them wrong that I could do it. If a small person could do it, because I'm not the smartest person, but you know, I try my best. So if other people could do it, I know I can do it. It might take a little time, but I got it done, and I came out successful, and I'm proud of myself.